Welcome CTs and welcome to another edition of Everything Weird, Nothing Normal. CT stand for Conspiracy Theorists. I'm sure you're already aware of that. So today I want to talk about the Rex Heflin photos. There's 4 photos and it all starts in California in Santa Ana around about 1965. Now, Rex Heflin was a photographer, and his job, apparently, as far as I can make out, was to go around taking photos of street signs that were obscured by branches and stuff. So, in 1965 in Santa Ana, that's exactly what he was doing, until he looked up and saw a UFO, right? And it says it all started when he was working in Santa Ana, taking photos of street signs, like I said, to make sure they were clear and free of obstructions, when suddenly a UFO roughly 150 foot off the ground appeared. So he had his camera anyway, because that was his job, he managed to take 3 images of the UFO, right? One of them was from the windscreen, and 2 of them were for the side window of his truck. The 4th one was when it disappeared and it left a ring, a puff ring. So he took a photo of that as well. Now, the UFO was there for 2 minutes when it suddenly disappeared, leaving that smoke ring. These photos were inspected by NORAD, the North American Air Defence, and also Project Blue Book. Both of these establishments checked them out and both said they were hoaxes. But if you know anything about the subject, Project Blue Book wasn't to be trusted anyway. You know, they were more a disinformation group than an information group, let's face it. So, Rex Heflin gave the 2 photos to the NORAD officers and never received them back. I mean, that's not unusual either, you know, so they took the photos and never gave them back. So, that meant there were copies knocking around that were a little bit doctored, and that sort of threw the photos into some disrepute. But the believers, and on one of them, to be honest with you, wouldn't trust the government not to doctor the photos just to make Heflin look stupid, because they don't want the truth to come out, do they? So, but after 20 years, 20 years, he received a cryptic phone call from a lady on the phone saying, "Have you checked your mailbox lately?" And then the original photos turned back up again. And these original photos are now being checked by experts. So now the believers, as I say, reckon that the photos were doctored for disinformation purposes, obviously, to throw it off the thing. Skeptics have always been a little bit skeptic of the photos, hence the word skeptics. And you've got to have the skeptics. You've got to have them. Otherwise, you can't be a total disbeliever. You have to investigate these things properly. So the first reason the skeptics said that these photos couldn't be real is that he had a Polaroid 101 photo, and I'll put the picture there. All right, you can see the concertina, and it's really old. And he reckons he took the first 3 pictures in 20 seconds. And they're going, no, that's not possible with those old-fashioned automatic Polaroid cameras. So, a bloke called Ted McLonnend, if I'm pronouncing that right, he is an expert from Polaroid. He got together with UFO Hunters, the program, and they tried it in the desert in the exact same place. So he's took the photos, conked them out, put them to one side, and he's done 3 of them, and he managed to do it in 17 seconds. So the first skeptic thing's out the window. Now, secondly, if you look at the photo behind me, and I'll also put a photo there as well, they reckon that the background and the foreground are too clear to be genuine, and it must have had a double exposure. What means you take a photo, you then hang the UFO in place, and you take another photo with the same, the same piece in the camera, and that's called a double exposure. But according to that Ted bloke, who's the expert from Polaroid, he said that this camera come with an infinity setting. And if he had that on infinity, you would have been able to take that photo. So that is the second one out the window. So the second skeptics, reason that it's a fake is now been established that that's not true. That can actually do that photo. Now, thirdly, and this is the weird one, right? Thirdly, when you look at the ring, and I'll put the photo there, and you look at the photo behind me, all three photos of the flying saucer, there's no clouds. You can't see the clouds. The ring photo, you can clearly see there's clouds there. So they were saying that, did the clouds disappear within a couple of seconds? But according to the Polaroid expert, when you take a photo in the truck, because it's concentrating on the darkness, it's too light to see the photo, to see the clouds. But once you're outside and you take a photo, the clouds can be seen. So that is why there are clouds in the ring photo, but none in the other photo. So that's that out the window. Now, I'm mainly doing this to just highlight the Rex Heflin photos because they're amazing. Now, there is one other skeptic view that, quite rightly too, is that was a hoax, and that UFO there, he stuck down, or he hung down, or he's faked it somehow. Now, if you watch UFO Hunters, and do watch it because it's a cracking program, right? They actually got a digital expert to do a 3D graph on his computer. Now, he typed in that, if the vehicle was, if the UFO was like 20 foot in diameter, and it was, 1/8 of a mile away, and it was, I don't know, we'll say, 150 foot off the ground, and they did all that. And when they actually programmed the UFO into the 3D background, it was exactly where it was meant to be. So if he's right that it was 20 foot, it was 150 foot away, it was 1/8 of a mile, it is exactly where it should be. So for believers, that clarifies it, and I'm sure for skeptics, they still think it's a fake, and that's cool. I get that. I get that. So, but look into it and check out UFO Hunters as well, because they go into it a lot more detail than I can in my shit. As well, because they go into it a lot more detail than I can in my shit, as you can imagine. But, so yeah, check out the Rex Heflin photos, because they're amazing. All right, and please drop me a line. Let's have a discussion about it. I mean, if you've got any more information on them and you think that no, this is rubbish, then let me know. And if you're a big believer and you think they're fantastic, then let me know. All right, and please subscribe and like. Apparently that's really important. All right, because I want to be a millionaire next year. Thank you very much, CTs, and I'll catch you later. Cheers.